go to Washington, where Sonny Young is standing by. Sonny loves to play basketball on Thursday. Sonny is ready. Sonny, good evening and welcome to the show.
Thank you, Austin. Great to be back. Great to be talking with you again on Sports Tonight. Hello to all your Sports Tonight viewers.
Good to have you around, Sonny Young. What's going on? We're getting ready for the start of the new NBA season, but I'm sure there are activities towards that.
Well, most of the NBA teams, Austin, will be opening their training camps, their preseason training camps early next week. The team based here in Washington, my beloved Washington Wizards, cause for concern, Austin, in that the team's star point guard, John Wall, they're not quite sure at this point whether he's going to be ready for the opening of training camp. He had surgery on both of his knees during the offseason, and Wall's game is really based on speed. So, we have our fingers crossed that he's going to come back full strength for the Wizards. They also re-signed Bradley Beal, their other young guard. Beal is now the highest paid player on the Wizards. But I think Wall, there is some concern. The team really revolves around John Wall. Other teams we'll be looking at will be the Golden State Warriors. They won the NBA title not last season, but the season before. They picked up Kevin Durant.
That's right.
Big signing. And so with Durant and Steph Curry and Klay Thompson, that should be one fun team to watch, Austin.
I agree.
So they'll try to gel in the preseason training camp. The training camps last about 3 weeks, and then the NBA season tips off at the end of October.
Let's just hope that John Walls, comes back. Because Sonny, all through last season, I was sympathizing with you, new Warrior. I don't want to sympathize with the Washington Wizards this new season, Sonny. Sonny, let's talk about the Paralympians in Nigeria. We're showing love to our Paralympians. What's going on in the United States?
Well, next week, President Obama and his wife, First Lady Michelle Obama, they plan to host both the U.S. Olympic team and the Paralympic team at the White House. That will be on the 29th of September in 1 week, right here in Washington. USA did great at both the Olympics and the Paralympics. At the Olympics, they were the top winning country in terms of medals, and at the Paralympics, they finished, I think it was 4th overall on the medals table. Quick shout out for Nigeria, Austin, and their performance at the Paralympics. Nigerian team, I thought, did very well. I think a total of 12 medals.
That's right.
In Rio. And I thought it was nice that the Nigerians could do so well after kind of a disappointing performance by the Olympic team a few weeks earlier in Rio. But President Obama and Michelle Obama, both big sports fans, so they'll be saluting the Olympians here in Washington next week.
That will be really sweet, Sonny. Before we let you go, in a minute, what's your take? Pep Guardiola versus Yaya Toure.
Well, Austin, I read an interesting article by Paul Wilson in the Guardian newspaper today, British newspaper, and I kind of agree with him. He says Pep Guardiola kind of is holding all the aces right now in terms of this conflict with Yaya and his agent. Based on the way Manchester City is playing, they've won all their games to open the season atop the table in the Premier League. Toure, great player, one of the great African players of the past decade. Unfortunately, he's kind of on the sort of on the downturn of his career at 33, and I think this is his last year. His contract is up at the end of the season. So I think his agent is going to have to somehow come to some terms with Pep Guardiola and get him out there on the playing field.
I know. Thank you so much, Sonny Young, for speaking to us on the program. Always a pleasure to have you on the program.
Thank you, Austin. Great to be on the show.
Thank you, Sonny. So that's it. VOA correspondent Sonny Young giving us updates from the United States. I'll throw the baton straight at you. You mentioned it. The United States President and the First Lady are meeting the Paralympians. Yeah. That's it right there. Support.
Yeah, of course. They do it big. And remember that this is probably the last sporting engagement for President Obama before he leaves as president. So he wants to sign out in style. But let's even bring it nearer. Did you see Fikile and Balula and how they welcome South Africa?
Yeah.
That was.
Oh my God.
You will think that they won the Paralympics. You will think they were the highest team in Africa with most medals.
Calling everybody by their name.
You know, so it was.
Knew a lot about it.
See, even if they don't give these guys money, the pride that comes with it, the recognition that comes with it, it's massive. And I think we can. All these things, they are tiny details. It takes nothing to do this. The Paralympians came back on Sunday evening and check out the reception. Check out the reception, and I think we can do things better.
Yeah.
But hey, we just have to start doing things right, because who will do it for us? And that takes me back to the reward system.
Yeah.
Honestly, we have to do better. I know that way back in the 90s, we used to have a reward system that probably was not followed. There's a Godwin Kienka-led committee that has been taxed.
10 million for
gold. Is it 10 million or 5 million, whatever. But guess what? There was no mention of the Paralympians in there. I don't know if the reward system covers the Paralympians, but they focus so much on the Olympics, and they're worried. So we need to start encompass them. We talk about grassroots when it comes to the Olympics, we don't do well. Do we talk about grassroots when it comes to Paralympics?
That's right.
Do we think they are the only old ones who are into para sports? No. So there are a whole lot of things that more than meets the eye. So let's just hope that this is a watershed moment for us.
I agree.
Where we can sit back and look back at how we can make things right.
That's what it is. Just make things right. Over to the Ministry of Sports. There's so much work to be done. Let's talk football now, Yemi. I love it when we talk around the Super Eagles and you get involved. You've seen the list. Finally, Isaac's success is in the team. This team can go anywhere and win.
Well, I don't know about that. But
you don't know at this stage?
But
no.
You see, Austin, I think we can agree on the fact that the coach is lucky. He has. There's a lot of promise, but his job is not to turn that promise to reality. I don't think there's any department of the game that we're lacking. Kali Keme, Emmanuel Daniel, and Ezenwa, all very, very good goalkeepers. I can't even argue with this list. That's how good I think this list is for defender. I mean, it's poured for choices. And why I said what I said is this team is good on paper. Whether or not we'll be able to turn that promise, there's a big difference between promise and reality. But this is a promising squad. And you want to imagine what will happen if these guys can stay together for the next 2 years. And that's why it's going to be a shame if we don't qualify. So the coach has to do whatever he needs to do. And our best chance of getting 3 points comes in our first game. And that's why I think whatever we do with the game in Ndola is very, very, very key. How to get whoever is going to be the striker, how to get him scoring, how to solve that, create the problem, the creative problem in the midfield. And probably what to do with John Mikel Obi again, because it will also come into the fore. So we'll see, probably apart from Dion Igalo, for obvious reasons, not here. I don't know. So I can't argue with this squad. That's what I'm going to say.
Same here. But Olawale, when you look at the team list, who is not there?
I always said last time I was here and my Super Eagles list was released, I questioned why no Saga is there and there's no John Ogu. John Ogu is the best foreigner in Israel. No Saga doesn't come close, and he also plays in the Israeli league. That is food for thought. But who am I to argue? It's Kenneth Raw who has gone with this list, so I'll leave it at that. But every Nigerian coach that has coached the Super Eagles, that has had the opportunity to coach the Super Eagles, has always been blessed with players.
That's right.
We have good players. Kenneth Raw also has joined the coaches. But it's how to make this team work.
Yeah.
It is how to make it work.
How to get the best.
I like the list, honestly. But maybe in the midfield, we have this bit of unpredictability in there with ICT. The guy who was shown like a million stars in the Europa League a couple of weeks back. But the only known names are Mikel Obi and Onazi. And like Yemi mentioned, what do we do with John Mikel Obi, or what does Gennaro do with him? Last time out, he played him behind the strikers. Is he going to do that? It's an away game. It's a tricky game. We've got fast Zambians around. What does he do with the number 9?
Walk rate.
Yeah, there's a number 9 conundrum for us right now. There's no Igalo. Igalo also has not been convincing.
In the last 5 games?
Yeah, is it going to be Brownie there, or is it going to be Kelechi Iheanacho, who has also done his bit for Man City playing that position? So lots of questions. Who plays from the wings also? So this is a good list, but it's a list that gives Gennaro a good headache. It's a good headache to have. He has to. But I'm not surprised.
Yeah, my worry as well, Wale and Austin, is Kelechi Iheanacho. I mean, are we not going to start having that problem? You know, you saw how he was somewhat given a free role in the last game that we played. Yeah. And some of us believe that you should let him stay up front. It looks like he has his scoring boots on. Yeah. He's getting the goals. So if it looks like the coach believes he has creativity, he might want to bring him to midfield. I hope we won't have the problem that we have with Mikel. You know, he plays one way with the national team, another way with his club. I don't know.
My problem with Kelechi is the way he adapts himself to African football. You know, there's always this mentality change when you're coming from your club to the national team.
That's right.
He hasn't gotten into it really well. And that's what I'm hoping I will say real quick.
Be careful not to put pressure
of course.
It's too early.
So we don't know if it's a number 9 for Nigeria, a number 10, or a 9.5, if there's any role like that. But I still think that for the Super Eagles, he'll probably play more behind the striker. He dare like someone playing close to him. We saw that at the Nations Cup in 2013. He likes playing with someone up front. I'm interested more in Alex Iwobi, the way he drifts around, the way he gives us fluidity on the pitch. That's what I'm more interested, because we need plenty of that against Zambia. And I think that would be the key to us winning that game. It's a must-win game, because we've seen Zambia as
must-win game?
Yeah, of course.
We have to start fast. We've
identified Zambia probably as the weakest link on paper in that group. We have to make good of beating them, because an away win, whoever gets the first away win in this group has gotten the advantage in this group. And I think Ndola offers us that one.
Oh my God. So that's it. You've seen the list called up by Ganacho. What do you think? What do you think should be in that list that is not there? And with what you've seen, are you convinced that the Super Eagles can go to Ndola and beat Zambia? Talk to us on Twitter, channels_sports, Facebook, channels-sports. Let's get on with the show now, guys. Talk about development of women's football. But let's begin with the 2016 Women's Federation Cup semi-final results. Rivers Angels, they just see women's football in Nigeria and they just grab it.
It's their birthright. It was easy peasy for them, and they would win this one, I think. It was a narrow win, though, against Nasarawa Amazons. And also we have Bielsa Queens pending Delta Queens on penalties. It's Rivers Angels' title to lose, I think. And it's always been this ladies, the form bulk of national team.
Yeah.
So there's plenty of cohesion, but I'm not interested in these results. That's me being pessimistic. I'm not interested in who wins it. I'm more interested in the development of women's football in Nigeria.
That's right.
This has not reflected well on our women's football.
I think basically that's the problem we have. We have this competition mindset. You know, we love victories. We take victories over development. We actually don't develop the game. Playing in tournaments, qualifying for competitions are very, very good if you're actually developing the game.
That's right.
It helps you throw up talent. And you know, if you check the indices, if you use competitions as a yardstick, we see names recurring.
Yeah.
And that shows you're not growing. If somebody is play age grade tournament 5 times, between under 17 and under 20, 4 times.
Years are not moving.
You're just not doing, you know. And I think that we should, the NFF, this one and the previous ones, should stop gloating about what they've achieved with the national teams. If we applaud them, we applaud them for whatever they've achieved with the national team, but develop, because that's what you have. And look, we should not wait until the likes of South Africa. You know, we laugh at South Africa a lot, but you see, every one of us realize that these guys are doing their best to develop the game.